It's the newest fight on the Indian battlefield and the road to 2024. Only 9 to 10 months to go for the big general election next year, and a very familiar war of legacies has broken out. This time, it's over the Nehru Memorial situated in one of the most plum areas of the national capital, Delhi. The Nehru Memorial is now called PM Memorial. The Modi government had taken the decision last year, and starting yesterday on India's Independence Day, that name change has become formal. From Nehru Memorial Museum and Library to PM Memorial Museum and Library, in order to reflect not just India's first Prime Minister, but all of the Prime Ministers, including Jawaharlal Nehru himself. But before all of that, I want to share some information with you. Jawaharlal Institute, Pondicherry, Jawahar Bal Bhavan, Thrissur, Kerala, Jawahar Bharati College, Kavali, Andhra Pradesh, Jawaharlal Nehru Centre for Advanced Scientific Research, Bengaluru, Jawaharlal Nehru Engineering College, Aurangabad, Jawaharlal Nehru Government Engineering College, Sundarnagar, Himachal Pradesh, Jawaharlal Nehru Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur, MP, Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, Ajmer, Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, Aligarh, Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, Belgaum, Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College, Bhagalpur, Jawaharlal Nehru National College of Engineering, Shimoga, Jawaharlal Nehru Rajkiya Mahavidyalaya, Port Blair, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapur, AP, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad, Jawaharlal Nehru Architecture and Fine Arts University, Hyderabad, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Kakinada, Andhra, Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, Delhi, Nehru Arts, Science and Commerce College, Hubli, Karnataka, Nehru Memorial College, Pudanampatti, Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, Nehru Memorial College, Sulia, Karnataka, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Medical College, Raipur, Chhattisgarh, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Business Management, Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh, Shri Nehru Mahavidyalaya College of Arts and Sciences, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, Nehru Park, Didwana, Rajasthan, Jawahar Science College, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Ahmednagar, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Alapura, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Alipurdwar, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Amroha, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Ashoknagar, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Bagudi, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Behrech, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Balia, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Bankura, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Barabanki, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Basde, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Belpada, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Bhogaon, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Bilaspur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Birbhum, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Bohani, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Canacona, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kar Nicobar, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Churu, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Champai, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Chandigarh, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Chenyadu, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Cooch Behar, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Daman, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Dakshin Dinajpur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Dhalai Tripura, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Devgarh, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Diu, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Doda, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Durgapur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, East Sikkim, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Ernakulam, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Gajanur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Golaghat, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Gomati, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Hamirpur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Hugli, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Idukki, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Indore, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Jafarpur Kalan, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Jaswantpura, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Jojawar, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Jorhat, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kanpur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kanpur Dehat, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Karaikal, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Karoli, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kangra, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kasargod, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Khowai, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Khurai, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Kinnor, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Kodagu, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Korba, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Korlahalli, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Kothali, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Kotipura Bilaspur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Kottayam, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Kozhikode, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Kulu, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Lahore and Spiti, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Madhubani, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mahe, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Malappuram, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mandafia, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mandi, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mandya, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Megdong, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Middle Andaman, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Minikoy, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mirzapur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mukokchung, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mochuka Faridabad, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mundal, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Mungeshpur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Narla, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Nizam Sagar, Jawahar Navodaya North 24 Parganas, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya North Goa, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya North Sikkim, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya North Tripura, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Pelapul, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Palakkad, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Pauta Jaipur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Panchavati, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Patan, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Patiala, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Padanamthitta, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Peddapuram, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Pukarmao, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Porbandar, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Prakasam, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Puducherry, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Raichur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Rampura, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Raigada, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Sahibganj, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Syampur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Silvassa, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Sirmor, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Sitapur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Solan, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya South 24 Parganas, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya South Andaman, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya South Garo Hills, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya South Sikkim, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Thiog, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Tiruvananthapuram, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Thrissur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Una, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Uttar Dinajpur, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Valasapalli, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Veleru, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Wayanad, Kerala, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya West Champaran, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya West Sikkim, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Yanam, Jawaharlal Nehru Museum Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh, Nehru Memorial Museum and Library, Nehru Museum of Science and Technology, Jawaharlal Nehru Port, Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Botanical Garden, Jawaharlal Nehru Tropical Botanic Garden and Research Institute, Nehru Park Burnpur, Nehru Park Delhi, Nehru Park Guwahati, Nehru Park Coimbatore, Nehru Park Thrissur, Nehru Zoological Park Hyderabad, Nehru Garden Udaipur, Nehru Garden Jaipur, Nehru Garden Koinanagar, Nehru Park Bokaro, Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, Nehru Cup Cricket, Nehru Cup Football, Nehru Trophy Boat Race, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium Chennai, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium Coimbatore, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium Delhi, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium Kochi, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium Shillong, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium Ghaziabad, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium Tiruchirappalli, Nehru Smarak Stadium, Nehru Stadium Durgapur, Nehru Stadium Guwahati, Nehru Stadium Hubli, Nehru Stadium Indore, Nehru Stadium Kottayam, Nehru Stadium Pune, Nehru Stadium Shimoga, Nehru Stadium Tumkur, Jawahar Chowk, Jawahar Circle, Jawahar Dweep, Jawahar Kala Kendra, Jawahar LPS Kurukodu, Jawahar Planetarium, Jawahar Sagar Dam, Jawahar Setu, Jawahar Tunnel, Jawahar Nehru Road, Kolkata, Jawahar Nagar, Nehru Foundation for Development, Nehru Nagar, Nehru Place, Nehru Planetarium, Nehru Science Center, Nehru Setu. That's just one public account of everything in our country that's named after India's very respected, honorable first Prime Minister. What I've just read out for you, and if you've been patient enough to listen to it through it, is a lion's share of over 450 institutions, parks, roads, stadiums, schemes, and more named after Nehru, Indira Gandhi, and Rajiv Gandhi. Now, I have no opinion on this. The only reason I've put this out there is because there is a war over the renaming of just one of the many things I've read out to you. So I'm just putting this information out there. You can make your own mind up about what this politics is really all about. So the story at hand is about the Nehru Memorial Museum and Library that's officially been renamed the Prime Minister's Museum and Library Society. The name change has angered and irritated the Congress, with the party saying that this is a petty move and part of the Sangh Parivar's quest to erase and rewrite history and to remove Nehru's name from that history. The BJP, however, has been quick to hit back at the Congress, asking why the party is so obsessed with Nehru. Here's the story of the day.
The campus where India's first Prime Minister lived for 16 years until his death in 1964, called the Teen Murti House. Originally built in 1930 as part of British architect Edwin Lutyen's imperial capital. The same campus developed into the Nehru Memorial Museum and dedicated to the nation 6 months after the passing of the first Prime Minister on his 75th birth anniversary. Built as a premier research center, a pilgrimage for history buffs, a forum of intellectual activity located south of the Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. The heritage institution now renamed as the Prime Minister's Museum and Library Society. The move officially aimed at diversifying its remit, a tribute to every Prime Minister and their contribution to nation building over the past 75 years.
The old block is the Teen Murti Bhavan, and that is where we had the Nehru Museum before, and it continues to be there. Now we have built a new block, and it is a seamless integration of the old building and the new building, and all of it now constitutes the Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya, that is the Prime Minister's Museum. The whole idea was to showcase the work of all our Prime Ministers.
But the name change has triggered a political controversy. Congress has accused the Modi government of attempts to contaminate history and remove tangible symbols of Nehruvian legacy.
It shows the pettiness of Mr. Modi. It shows the RSS, Bharatiya Jansangh and Bharatiya Janata Party's hate against Pandit Nehru.
This pettiness is unfortunate, and it shows a certain bitterness towards our own historical past, which I believe is not worthy of a government that has such a good majority, so much confidence in themselves. They should at least show that big-heartedness that you expect that comes with a big majority.
Congress allies too have echoed similar accusations.
यही स्टेडियम जो भगवान विष्णु के नाम पे था एकाना, अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के नाम पे किया, हमें कोई नाराजगी नहीं है। और हमें खुशी तब होती जब उनके गांव बटेश्वर में भी एक यूनिवर्सिटी बन जाती, तो शायद उनके परिवार के लोगों को और शुरुआती समय पे जिन्होंने उन्हें राजनीति में आगे बढ़ाया, उनका भी सम्मान हो जाता।
The BJP has hit back. Its attack centered around the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty. The ruling party accused Congress of promoting family politics.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री की लोकतांत्रिक सोच देखिए कि किस प्रकार से उन्होंने सारे प्रधानमंत्रियों को जगह दी है, क्या देवेगौड़ा, क्या गुजराल साहब, क्या चरण सिंह साहब। तो मैं कांग्रेस के जयराम रमेश को एक ही बात कहूंगा, आपने सब कुछ नेहरू जी ही, नरेंद्र मोदी की सोच, जितने प्रधानमंत्री सबका सम्मान।
देश के लिए और देश के आज़ादी के लिए, देश भारत के निर्माण के लिए तमाम हजारों हमारे महानायकों ने कुर्बानी दी है, जिन्हें कि आपने इतिहास के काले पन्नों में डाल दिया था। मोदी जी ने आने के बाद आपके सम्मान के साथ साथ उनके सम्मान को भी सम्मान दिया है।
The long-drawn battle over political brands just got intense. With Kumar Kunal, Bureau Report, India Today.
The BJP, the government have said that the renaming reflects the legacies of all prime ministers of the country. That's why it's been renamed Prime Minister's Memorial and National Library, not Nehru Memorial anymore. The Congress has called this petty. Let's go straight to our guests to debate this now on 5 Live. Guru Prakash Paswan, national spokesperson of the BJP. Arshdeep Singh Khadiyal is spokesperson of the Congress. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and for being with us here on 5 Live. Arshdeep, coming to you first. Why is the Congress calling this move petty? The government has decided that the memorial needs to reflect all prime ministers of the country and has taken that decision, but the Congress feels this is petty. Why so? Explain.
Thank you. Kindly allow me 2 minutes uninterrupted. Thanks for the question. See, undoubtedly, before we go to the question, there is one achievement and one achievement only of the Bharatiya Janata Party in 9 long years, and that is a name-changing spree. The only thing that the BJP has done in their tenure of 2 terms is this. And number 2, you know, at the time of record-breaking inflation, unemployment, poverty, law and order incidents in Manipur, Haryana and whatnot, the Bharatiya Janata Party prioritizes changing the name of a museum. This goes on to suggest that this is a clear case of misplaced priorities of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Number 3, you know, I do not understand the obsession that the Bharatiya Janata Party's government has with name changing, because if 10% of that obsession would have been shown for development, for Vikas, India's face would have entirely changed. But the BJP chooses to change the name of our laws, IPC, CRPC, Evidence Act, our cities, our railway stations, our stadiums, our museums, and whatnot. And due to this, what happens is, 1, no purpose, nothing basically is served, no objective is served, apart from obviously petty politics. However, what happens is, due to this, is a wastage of our time, wastage of our energy, wastage of our resources, wastage of our money, and many more things. Next is that, you know, we have to understand that the reasoning of the Bharatiya Janata Party's government is flawed. They say there should be no name after an institution on an institution, so that all the prime ministers can be given space there. Now, if that's a fact, then why is there a stadium called Narendra Modi Stadium? Why is there basically an Arun Jaitley Stadium? Should there be no space given to all the ministers, all the prime ministers now? So
but Arshdeep, there are nearly 500. There are nearly 500 entities named after the Nehru Gandhis. 500.
Thank you. I really appreciate. I think I was listening throughout when you were naming all the things that are named after Mr. Nehru. I wanted to thank you for it, because you have conveyed out a message loud and clear to the country that a person who does anything and everything for the welfare of the country and does it selflessly, does so much for the country, he definitely is remembered. His tenure reflects, and that is what you have done. So I want to thank you.
But can't that also be applied? Can't that also be applied to the Nehru Memorial? Is a question, because it's only one of the many things that I talked about. But I'll come back to you. Let's get Guru Prakash Paswan in. Guru Prakash, the Congress says not only petty, but diversionary and misplaced politics to hide the government's other failures. How would you explain the changing of the name of the Nehru Memorial?
Shiv, a very warm good evening to you and my fellow panelists. I was very patiently listening to my friend from the Congress party and he gave a strong lecture about development. I think we must understand that today we are the 5th largest economy. We have more than 50 crore bank accounts and so on and so forth. It is the people of India who have the right to decide whether the government is doing the right job or not. But coming back to the topic, we must understand one thing. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, the chief architect of our constitution, he made a very categorical statement which is relevant even today. He said the path to hero worship leads to eventual dictatorship. That is the real problem of the Congress party. Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru gave Bharat Ratna to himself. And when the present government, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, is trying to be inclusive, why not acknowledge the contribution of each and every Prime Minister? It was because of Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri we won the 1965 war. We must remember the countless sacrifices for all those leaders who have made these reasons possible. We have to be inclusive. This country belongs to everyone. The idea of the Congress party to be fixated on individuals. On the contrary, we should be focused on institutions. Democracy is about institutions, sir, and institutions cannot be individual focused or individual specific. We have every right. Every single people, every single person of India, 140 crore people of India, they have the right over the national resources, not one family. That is the only problem of the Congress party, that they can't look beyond one family.
I want to, which brings me to my second question. Arshdeep, if the Nehru Memorial was being renamed, Shama Prasad Mukherjee Memorial or Veer Savarkar Memorial or Narendra Modi Memorial, one can still understand it. They've renamed it Prime Minister's Memorial and Library. Surely, technically, you can't have any problem with that.
Now see, if, like I said before, if this is the logic of the Bharatiya Janata Party's government,
because I'm not asking you to agree with Guru Prakash, but I'm saying even a reasonable argument would be that there are other prime ministers who perhaps haven't got their due, and this just makes it, on equal keel for everyone. There was Lal Bahadur Shastri. There is the touchy topic of P.V. Narasimha Rao, who, to my horror, has one thing named after him in Andhra Pradesh. One thing. In the entire country, there's one thing named after P.V. Narasimha Rao, who was one of, who's a prime minister remembered for liberalization and things like that. And there's nothing named after him. This just gives all of the prime ministers a space. Arshdeep.
Thank you. Now see, like I said, if this is the logic of the Bharatiya Janata Party government, then they should give up their double standards ASAP and should rename Narendra Modi Stadium to Prime Minister's Stadium. Why do they not do that? Because now it is about their leader. They want his name to be everywhere, but they have a problem if Mr. Nehru's name is on a museum. This is the Bharatiya Janata Party's clear-cut, blatant double standard, visible in front of everyone. Number two, we have to understand why are they doing this. It is a result of their insecurity for Congress, for their leaders, and for the leaders' contributions. Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party is clearly intimidated by the contributions that these leaders have made. They can, try and remove their name from a museum, but they cannot remove them from the history and the hearts of the people. And, the Bharatiya Janata Party has an expertise of distorting, of defaming, demeaning, and distorting. And that is exactly what they have been doing. At a time like this, they prioritize name changing when they should be working in order to, beget some stability and peace in Manipur. And this has become a habit of the Bharatiya Janata Party. You see, they say countless sacrifices have been made by our leaders. Therefore, they should be remembered. Therefore, they should be, honored.
I hear what you're saying. Let me put that point to Guru Prakash. Guru Prakash, the other allegation is that, renaming the Nehru Memorial is fine technically. Yes, everyone should get equal space as Prime Minister. But the Congress questions the intent. They say there has been a pattern in the BJP of trying to erase Nehru's legacy. And this is part of that. So it's not the action, but the intent behind it that is being questioned.
No, absolutely not, Shiv. And I think this shows the real feudal mindset of the Congress party. And I'm very happy you brought the topic of P.V. Narasimha Rao. Also add to that, Sitaram Kesri, a backward leader who rose as the president of the Congress party. He was insulted in the Congress party. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, a senior Dalit leader, the chief architect of the constitution, he was insulted by the Congress party. Congress's own Babu Jagjeevan Ram was insulted by the Congress party. There are stalwarts. There are leadership within the Congress party who must be acknowledged for their contribution. But this shows the real mindset of the Congress party shift that we must understand. Congress at the end of the day is a feudal organization who cannot look beyond one family. For a leader, Mr. Randeep Surjewala, the media face of the Congress party, who says कि BJP को वोट देने वाले सब राक्षस हैं. This is the real mindset of the Congress party, who cannot at any cost look beyond one family, one person, one surname. That is precisely the problem. This shows the real arrogance of the Congress party. For years we have seen Congress has insulted leaders from the marginalized section. They may be their own, but regardless of that, for the first time in last 25 years, we saw Draupadi Murmu, a woman from the tribal community, rising to the position, highest constitutional office. The way the Congress leadership treated her, we still remember. Official Congress leaders have insulted Draupadi Murmu. They have insulted Sitaram Kesri. They have insulted Babu Jagjeevan Ram. And that is the true nature and the character of Congress party, who still believes that they can control the political party with feudalism. But the country has gone ahead. This is new India, and the country belongs to everyone, not one family, one leader, Rahul. Shiv.
Arshdeep, the one family argument that the BJP has made, let's set that aside for a moment, because even people with apolitical views like me wonder about the issue of P.V. Narasimha Rao. He was, not by any means a small prime minister. He was a successful prime minister in terms of big reforms that took place in the country. And the Congress is seen as a party that has completely sidelined and expunged his legacy and not been fair to him as well. So one view would be, Arshdeep, that who is the Congress, to lecture others about legacy when you haven't even, been fair to one of your own prime ministers?
Now, let's have this logic applied to all. There is a stadium by the name of Mr. Modi. Why do we not change it?
You're making that point for the third time. It's one stadium versus all of the things I've just named. All of the things I've just named.
Now, why do I have to repeat it? Because the Bharatiya Janata Party has no answer to it.
So are you accepting that you're also wrong in that case? Are you accepting, if you're saying what the BJP has done is wrong, are you accepting that the Congress is wrong in naming 400 things after the Nehru Gandhis?
Have I said that they are wrong or something? Have I said that? I have questioned their logic and I have questioned their double standards. How? They say that all the PM should be given space. So why is that not being done in the case of Narendra Modi Stadium, Arun Jaitley Stadium, number one. Number two, they say that other prime ministers should also be honored. Then why do they not rename Narendra Modi Stadium to Atal Bihari Vajpayee?
You're not asking. I will get Guru Prakash to answer the question on the Narendra Modi Stadium, since you've raised that point 3 times. But answer my question about P.V. Narasimha Rao. Answer my question about P.V. Narasimha Rao.
Answering your question now whatever the Bharatiya Janata Party says does not mean has to be the gospel truth. And if they say that a prime minister, is being ignored, they should tell us how is Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji being honored. Why did they not name that stadium behind Atal Bihari Vajpayee?
Arshdeep, you are dodging a direct question. Why has your party never honored or named anything after P.V. Narasimha Rao, one of India's most successful prime ministers? It's a direct question.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If this is the question of the Bharatiya Janata Party,
it's not from the Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm asking as a journalist and citizen.
And I am answering a question that Mr. Narasimha Rao, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, Miss Indira Gandhi, Mr. Nehru, and all the other prime ministers we have had in India, they remain in the hearts of people. They remain in the
come on.
And
that's a wishy-washy answer, Arshdeep.
Come on. Second, please. Now, if you would allow me the time to answer.
Two things named after P.V. Narasimha Rao. 2 things.
Now, 1 second, please. I have this question for the Bharatiya Janata Party. They are saying you are doing Parivarvad here. That is what their question is. If this is Parivarvad, why does Mr. Jay Shah have the secretary, is the secretary of BCCI? Why is he the president of Asian Cricket Council? Why do they have a Jyotiraditya Scindia Saab in their party? Why do they have a Nirmala Sitharaman ji in their party?
Since you've raised that point 3 times, Guru Prakash must answer. Guru Prakash, the point about the Narendra Modi Stadium has been raised 3 times by Arshdeep. You must answer him on that.
So, Shiv, we must understand, and as a senior journalist, I'm sure you are aware that the office of Prime Minister is an institution and it's not focused on individual, number one. And time again, you are asking about P.V. Narasimha Rao, the dead body of P.V. Narasimha Rao. The dead body of the former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao was not allowed in the Congress's office. And they are talking about double standards. The third point, my friend from the Congress party is constantly raising about their concern for late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. So he must remember that was Bharatiya Janata Party. It was during the Bharatiya Janata Party government that Bharat Ratna was given to Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Unlike the Congress party where Prime Ministers have given Bharat Ratna to themselves. This is the... I did not speak when you were speaking, Arshdeep. Let's just follow some courtesy. Thank you so much, Arshdeep. On the contrary, the Congress Prime Ministers have given Bharat Ratna to themselves, the topmost civilian honor of this country. Indira Gandhi gave Bharat Ratna to herself. Jawaharlal Nehru gave Bharat Ratna to himself. Bharat Ratna belongs to everyone. For the first time, we are witnessing a democratization, a transformation in all the Padma awardees. You look at the list of Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Bharat Ratna, you would realize for the first time the democratization of discourse is happening. And the Congress's elite and feudal leadership cannot digest the fact that for the first time we have women from marginalized communities, people from marginalized communities in the structures of power. The structures of power made.
I'm completely out of time.
It is not being restricted to
Arshdeep, I do see your hand up, but I'm completely out of time. I can give you 10 seconds, Arshdeep, for the last word.
That's all. If they have a problem with the Prime Minister, on one hand they say, why is a certain Prime Minister not being honored? And then they say, why was he given an award? The problem with the BJP is, if they have this logic, then why was Mr. Modi given Indian of the Year award? Indian of the Year award? Why was Mr. Modi given Indian of the Year award?
Must be acknowledged. All the Prime Ministers.
Gentlemen, I'm completely out of time. The 10 seconds are up. I have to take a break right now, but I have a feeling that this topic is going to be on fire for the next few weeks and months in the run-up to the elections. Big election season coming up. Guru Prakash Paswan and Arshdeep Khadial. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time here.